Well, we got a nice pretty calm afternoon and evening. I guess it's about 5:30. But I can't seem to ever time it right. I just get down here and it starts raining. So got a big, huge raindrop right in my ear, like directly right in, and it filled up my ear. Like, it's weird. So I'm gonna wait for a little bit. I thought I'd talk about the heroes of Nova Scotia, the Nova Scotia shooting. Like, the guy went, if what they are telling us is true, the guy went, he burnt a bunch of people, maybe probably alive, who knows. He burnt houses, he killed people, might have ran some over. They're not saying. They're not saying what gun he used. We know that he was prohibited from owning firearms because of a assault charge on a 15-year-old boy in 2001. And so it has nothing to do with the gun. And as far as the heroes, the timeline, I wrote it down, 11:30 p.m. RCMP get a firearms complaint. That's at Portapique, population of 100 people. That's a small town. It's smaller than Coutts. And at 8 a.m. they were still on the scene. Is that, like, for 8 hours they were on the scene? That doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't they go look for him? And my theory is they think he was an RCMP officer, or else they know that he stole the car. I don't think it was I don't think it was a car that he somehow got the decals, which are impossible to, you'd have to make them. So you'd need a decal machine, like a huge decal machine. They're thousands and thousands of dollars. It just doesn't add up. And then all the antennas, and it was a 2018 Taurus. They don't auction those off. Not that new. Anyways, I think so. And another theory is maybe he got picked up for drunk driving or something like that, and he was in the police station. And those small town police stations, there's like one person on duty sometimes, or two in there, and so maybe he somehow snuck out with the keys to a car, grabbed a uniform or a coat or something, and that's how he got. And then he went on this, he was mad at the cops for stopping him, maybe even he wasn't drunk, maybe he was getting a ticket for not social distancing correctly. I know that's a theory. I mean, all of this is really a theory, because they're not giving us the information. They're giving us is either omitted. They're omitting a lot, like when Fishface said, "Oh, we don't know if he had a firearms license." Well, yeah, you know instantly. As soon as you know his name, you know that database is instant. And plus that charge for assault would come up instantly. So I think either they thought he was a cop, and that's why they weren't releasing any news. Like, even on the shooter, like a firearms complaint, what is that? They sent out a tweet. There's 10% of the population of Nova Scotia is on Twitter. Now, how many of those follow the RCMP, and how many of those would even pay attention to a tweet coming from the RCMP, the people? So, yeah, it stopped raining. I might have to, well, I'll give it a second or two. So anyways, yeah, there's a reason why they didn't send out the alert. I mean, because they didn't want people to know that there was a cop on the loose or somebody that stole a cop car. Like, they were protecting their own. That's not a hero. A hero doesn't do that. Now, the lady cop that got killed, she could have been a hero. She was doing her job and died on the job, got shot. So yeah, she's a hero, but the rest of them. Okay, so yeah, there's nothing on social media. I can't find anything on social media besides somebody saying, oh yeah, he collected cop cars. Yeah, that's when somebody else's, I can't remember if it's Facebook. So Portapique to Enfield is actually 92 kilometers. It took him 12 hours to get there. So, like, so what's that? Like 10 kilometers an hour. Yeah, less than 10 kilometers an hour. Of course, he was burning buildings and killing people and stuff. Like, he wasn't hiding. I mean, how could it take 12 hours to find him so he was charged. Oh yeah, he was charged with assault in 2001. So most likely, actually, definitely, he had no PAL. He was most likely a liberal, and they're calling him a right-wing extremist because he had an American flag. Well, maybe he's dual citizen, something like that. Nancy Pelosi, right-wing extremist, or 50% of American population that are liberals right now, may as well call them communists. So anyways, that's what the one, I forget, it was Saskatchewan newspaper maybe that came out with that headline. But the first headline that I saw was a white middle-aged bald man. Now, so what they're trying to describe him as a skinhead, maybe? I don't know. Why would they say white middle-aged bald man? This is after they're not looking for him anymore. They're describing the guy after they killed him. So, like, I could see, but when there's a person of color in Toronto that commits a crime, a murder or whatever, they say Toronto man. That's all they say, Toronto man. Is so messed up. Like, I mean, well, also that fire department that got shot up, and they're not looking into that. They say there was 2 police officers, or what looked like police officers, shooting at the fire department, which had it was kind of like not a refugee center, but like a care center where people could get food or something and directions to get to a hotel, or I don't know what. But anyways, it was a care center. It wasn't, and there's holes like in through the garage doors, and I guess they took out damaged a vehicle, a fire truck. So I'm watching a Stefan Molyneux deal on this Nova Scotia murder spree. And he does a really good job, of course, way better than anything I do off the top of my head, and just making stuff up. I mean, everything I say, well, not everything I say. Some of the stuff is factual, but when I say that maybe he was arrested, but one thing I didn't say in that first thing is how much did this, the lockdown, the social distancing, all this stuff, play a part in it? I know it played a part because some of the people weren't where they would have been otherwise. They wouldn't have been in that situation if it wasn't for the home quarantine, and especially like this one nurse that was staying somewhere else, not at home with her husband, because she didn't want to bring the COVID-19 home, which probably wouldn't have been a problem. So anyways, what I was going to say is, yeah, check out Stefan Molyneux's deal on it. He does a really good timeline. What they know, or what they say, or what they tell us. Okay, I know what I was going to say. They keep calling them the gunman. The gunman. I That's a term I don't. In this case, he's a murderer. He's an arsonist. Like what do you call a person that kills people by burning them? Uh, right? Uh, Pyromaniac murderer. Why don't they call him that? Pyromaniac murderer, police impersonator, who illegally had a firearm, also used that. Like, anyways, check out Stefan Molyneux, and see you later.